Hello everyone, my name is Rainier Pranata from the class R Programming and from the major Accounting, and my NEW is 533067, and today I'm going to present to you about my midterm exam assignment. So let's begin with the first line. So from line 1 to 16 are manipulation of basic data types and also complex data structures from the point 1 data structures. So over here you can see to click all the data structures and the manipulations I did. And over here let's go down to data input output. So here is the data set from Gapminder, which is electricity generated for a country from 1985 to 2019. In the terminal here we can see what the data set looks like. So the first column is the country and the following columns are the rest of the years. Each of those are represented as strings. So that's why after here we can see that everything is represented by characters and not numbers. So before we do anything, we make a function called convert to numeric, which converts all the trillion, billion, million data from strings to integers or numeric. And we use this line to apply it. And after that we can see that there's still missing values, no duplicated data, and all the data should be converted to strings like this. So using zoo library we can actually use linear interpolation, which estimates the missing values we found before in these columns, so we don't get empty data. So after applying interpolation, which is a pre-processing method, we can see that we already have no more missing data and the data is ready to get outputted. So over here we remove the X from the years, so we got a clean data set, and we outputted the data set in our folder over here. So after doing that, we can perform exploratory data analysis, which is over here. You can see the minimum amount of electricity, the median, mean, max of the values produced in each year, so that we have some filtering in here, filtering and aggregation using functions with a lot of else ifs. So what this function tells us, which countries are the top or bottom producers of electricity for n years. So this year is 1985 and here is 2019. You can see all the top and bottom countries which produces electricity. Over here is aggregation. This is a kind of a function to tell you the total generated of each country. So we can see if we click data over here, it appears here. It tells you each country's total from 1985 to 2019. After that we have top 10 growth and top 10 average generation, which is the same. It's self-explanatory, it appears here in the data column. We can export it if we want, but for this example we're not going to. Moving on to visualizations, I use ggplot and scales, our library, to create a line graph. We can see Indonesia's electricity generated from 1985 to 2019, and of course it's going up. It has an upward trend. And over here we have another ggplot, bar graph this time, to tell the users the top 10 electricity producers in 2019. We can also use the function to make top 10 bottom, or we can change the year also. But over here we can see that China is the leading producer, followed by USA, India, Russia, and everyone else. And over here I used a vanilla pie chart, which is also exported here, which also tells us the same thing as this. And based on our findings, we can see that global electricity generation has steadily increased from 1985 to 2019, and that the top electricity producers are countries like USA, China, and Russia, and the distribution is skewed as shown here. Why is it skewed? Because USA and China are way above the rest of the countries. And that's it. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a nice day.